In 1943, Captain Don Blakesley flew his P-47 Thunderbolt 27,000 feet above Germany, guarding 316 B-17 bombers attacking factories that made ball bearings for the German war machine. But over 300 German fighters were swarming, tearing into the bombers. Blakesley's fuel gauge showed just 20 minutes left, while the bombers needed 3 more hours to reach England. His P-47 could only escort them 250 miles into Germany before turning back, leaving the bombers defenseless. That day, 60 B-17s and 600 men were lost. As Blakesley ordered his team home, he radioed, "We need a fighter that can go to Berlin and back, or we're sending these bomber crews to die." Unknown to him, a plane that could do just that was sitting ignored in a hangar in Ohio. The P-51 Mustang had been called not good enough by the U.S. Army Air Forces for high-altitude fighting. But in England, a mechanic named Ronald Harker did something wild. He flew a Mustang without permission, saw its hidden potential, and suggested a simple fix that would make it the best fighter of World War II. In 1941, Britain was fighting Nazi Germany alone and needed fighters fast. Their Spitfire was great, but scarce, and the Hurricane was old. They asked North American Aviation to build Curtiss P-40 Warhawks. Instead, the company's boss, James Kindleberger, said, "We'll make a better fighter from scratch in 120 days. The British, desperate, agreed. North America's team, led by engineer Edgar Schmude, built the NA-73, named the Mustang by the British. It had a sleek wing for less drag, a radiator that boosted speed, and a design using math for top aerodynamics. It was built like a car for fast production. The prototype flew on October 26, 1940, just 117 days after starting. The Mustang was fast, hitting 380 miles per hour low down, handled great, and could fly farther than other fighters with its big fuel tanks. The British ordered tons, but there was a problem. Its Allison engine was fine near the ground, but weak above 15,000 feet where air battles happened. The plane slowed to under 300 miles per hour, climbed poorly, and couldn't chase German fighters at 25,000 to 30,000 feet. The British used it for low-level scouting and ground attacks, and the U.S. Army Air Forces tested it, but said it wasn't fit for escorting bombers high up. By 1942, the Mustang seemed destined to be forgotten. Then, on April 30, 1943, Ronald Harker, a 30-year-old Rolls-Royce mechanic and test pilot, visited a British airbase to see the Mustang. Pilots told him it was awesome low, but useless high. They let him fly one, and he noticed the airframe was incredible on lay. The engine was holding it back. Harker wasn't allowed to test American planes or make big suggestions, but he did it anyway. On May 3rd, he wrote a report saying the Mustang's airframe is better than anything out there. With a Merlin engine, it'll be the best fighter in the world. This broke all the rules, but he sent it to Air Vice Marshal Sir Wilfrid Freeman, who saw its potential and pushed it forward, even if it might upset the Americans. Rolls-Royce didn't wait for permission. They took a Mustang, pulled out the Allison, and started fitting a Merlin 61. This was like stealing the plane, since it was British-owned but bought from America. It took 4 months to tweak the engine mounts, propeller, and fuel system. On October 13, 1943, Harker flew the Merlin Mustang. It hit 430 miles per hour at 25,000 feet 70 miles per hour, faster than the old version, climbed like crazy, and kept its long range. Harker wrote, "This is the best fighter I've ever flown. Build it now." British pilots agreed, with one saying, "It's better than the Spitfire high up, matches it low, and flies 3 times farther." The British sent the results to the U.S., but the Americans weren't excited. They'd bet on the P-47 Thunderbolt and P-38 Lightning for escorts. A May 1943 memo said, "Why fix a plane we rejected?" Plus, using a British engine in an American plane stung their pride, and Merlins were scarce. But bomber losses were huge, thousands of men and hundreds of planes gone because fighters couldn't T-protect them deep in Germany. General Henry Arnold saw the test data 440 miles per hour at 25,000 feet, a 41,000-foot ceiling, and over 2,000 miles of range with extra tanks. He ordered North American to build 2 Merlin Mustangs immediately. North American and Packard, who built Merlins in the U.S., were already on it. By November 1943, they had 2 prototypes, called P-51B. Tests confirmed the British findings: faster and better climbing than any American fighter, with an 800-mile combat radius enough to reach Berlin and back. On December 20, 1943, Arnold ordered full production. Factories in California and Texas started making hundreds of P-51Bs and P-51CS monthly. In December 1943, the first P-51Bs reached England with the 354th Fighter Group, pilots. Used to the big P-47, thought the sleek Mustang looked weak. But on their first mission, escorting bombers to France, it climbed faster than the bombers, cruised easily, and dove at over 500 miles per hour to chase German fighters. Pilot Charles Gumbs said, "This plane is a beast." The P-51B could escort bombers 550 miles to Berlin and fight the whole way. Bomber losses dropped, and the Allies started winning the air war. By 1944, the Merlin Mustang ruled the skies, helping defeat Germany's Air Force. One mechanic's rule-breaking test flight turned a forgotten plane into a war winner. Ronald Harker's bold move showed that a small change like swapping an engine could change history.